What if the secret to real, ultimate freedom wasn't some far-off, impossible goal, but something you could start building today, right under your own 2 feet? In this explainer, we're going to uncover an ancient teaching that shows how a stable, ethical life becomes the very ground from which liberation grows. So let's dig in.
So our whole guide for today is built around this incredible metaphor from an ancient text, the earth. I mean, think about it. You can't build a skyscraper or grow a forest on shaky ground, right? Well, this text tells us the exact same thing is true for our spiritual path. It all has to start with a firm foundation.
Every great project, whether it's out there in the world or inside our own minds, absolutely needs a solid base. Without it, the whole thing just falls apart. And our source text makes it clear this is especially true for our inner world.
So what is this unshakable foundation? Well, it's a Pali word, sila. It basically means virtue or moral conduct. But don't think of it as just a boring list of rules. No, it's the fertile soil, that stable earth, that makes any real spiritual growth even possible.
Okay, so once we've prepared the soil with a virtuous life, the real work, the cultivation, can finally begin. It's time to actually plant the seeds and start tending to what grows. Let's take a look at what that's all about.
The path we're cultivating on this fertile ground of sila is, of course, the famous Noble Eightfold Path. Each of these steps, all the way from right view to right concentration, is like a seed that we have to actively nurture. And this isn't just a random walk in the park. There's a very clear goal in mind.
See, every single part of the Eightfold Path is guided by 4 crucial aims: detachment, dispassion, cessation, and relinquishment. So let's break down what each of these really means, because this is where it gets really interesting.
Let's kick things off with that first aim, detachment, or viveka. What's so fascinating here is that the text doesn't just give us one simple definition. Instead, it lays out detachment as this gradual, 5-stage journey, from a little bit of temporary relief all the way to absolute freedom.
First up, we've got detachment by suppression. You might know this feeling. It's that temporary freedom we find in deep meditation, when we can finally push aside all those mental hindrances, desire, aversion, and just find a moment of real clarity and focus.
Next is detachment by substitution. Now, this is a really powerful practice you can use in the moment. It's when you consciously catch an unwholesome thought and just swap it out for a wholesome one. You find freedom right there in that one specific moment of choice.
Okay, here's where we hit a major turning point. Detachment by cutting off. This is the permanent uprooting of all that mental junk. We're not talking about a temporary fix anymore. This is a profound, irreversible shift that comes from a deep insight into how things really are.
The 4th stage is this deep, profound peace that just washes over you after that cutting off happens. It's the calm after the storm, that sweet relief of finally tasting the results of all your practice.
And finally, we have detachment by escape. This is it. This is the ultimate prize, nibbana, the final, unshakable liberation from the entire cycle of suffering. This is what we mean by ultimate freedom.
All right, so now let's turn to our second aim, dispassion, or viraga. And as you're about to see, the path through dispassion follows the exact same systematic 5-stage journey we just explored with detachment. Yep, just like with detachment, dispassion, which is really the fading away of craving, is developed through those same 5 stages. It really shows how the path works on different parts of our mind in this amazing, reinforcing way, leading us step by step from temporary relief to permanent freedom.
Now we've reached the final 2 aims of the path, nirodha and vosagga. This is really the culmination of the whole journey, the ultimate harvest of everything we've been cultivating.
So nirodha, or cessation, is the complete and total end of suffering and what causes it. And if cessation is the destination, then you can think of vosagga, or relinquishment, as the profound release, that final act of just letting go of all the burdens.
So remember how we started, with the earth as our foundation? After all this hard work of cultivation, what's the harvest? I mean, what actually grows from this fertile ground that we've so carefully prepared?
And here, the text brings us right back to the beginning. It's beautiful. Just like seeds grow into huge, mighty trees on good, fertile earth, a practitioner who is established in virtue will see this incredible abundance of wholesome qualities just blossom inside them.
The central message couldn't be clearer. Moral conduct, sila,
isn't about a bunch of restrictive rules. It's a living, fertile ground from which all these amazing spiritual qualities are able to grow. And believe me, the harvest is huge. The text tells us that from this single foundation of virtue, you don't just get the Noble Eightfold Path. All the key spiritual qualities, the factors of enlightenment, the spiritual faculties, the powers, they all grow and flourish from this very same ground.
So we come right back to where we started. The secret to ultimate freedom isn't some distant, far-off goal. It's something we can cultivate right here, right now. So the real question is, what kind of foundation are you building today? What's your future harvest going to look like?